Good morning. They asked us to wear solid colors, so I thought I'd put on orange for the occasion. This morning I'd like to speak a little bit about mindfulness, humility, and a holistic approach to education. And as I share my thoughts on these topics with you, I thought I could also take a moment to share a little bit about my journey, which led me to monastic life, which is something I'm assuming is on a lot of your minds. As a Hindu monk, I wear orange robes, have a shaved head, and some markings on my forehead, which means I'm trying to elevate my consciousness. Growing up in Los Angeles as an only child of wealthy parents, for the most part, I had everything one could hope to have. We had a $1 million house on the hill with a really beautiful swimming pool. I had my very own room overlooking all of Los Angeles. And I was given a brand new car at the age of 16. Safe to say I was a tiny bit spoiled. Didn't really learn about mindfulness because didn't have to share anything with anybody. The first humbling experience that happened to me in my life was in 1993 when my parents' multi-million-dollar jewelry business burnt down to the ground. And we lost everything. The business was gone. The beautiful 6-bedroom house on the hill was gone. We lost all 3 of our cars and practically all of our savings. And I found myself, along with my parents, packing up our bags and moving off to East Europe to look for new business opportunities. And we ended up landing in Bulgaria. I was 21 at the time, never worked a real job because I didn't have to, so I had no work experience. From my perspective, Bulgaria was about 50 years behind in technology because it had just come out of communism. Nobody spoke English, or hardly anybody spoke English, and I sure didn't speak Bulgarian. I didn't even know where it was. I had to look it up on the map. Every day, to make an international phone call, I would have to walk about 1 kilometer to the post office. And I would just write the number down for the operator. She would dial it and point me towards the booth. This was a daily ritual. Needless to say, it was a time of great introspection. I don't know how many times I sat on our 1-bedroom balcony wondering, how long is this going to last? How long am I going to be here? Am I going to die in Bulgaria? But it was also a time of the time that I explored my spirituality. This was the time I picked up a copy of the Bhagavad Gita, which is considered to be the primary spiritual text of India, which has influenced the lives of very prominent thinkers like Emerson, Gandhi, Einstein, Thoreau. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna told me that true happiness can't come from material achievements and gains, because all of these things are temporary, and I'd already experienced that. That I should learn to be equipoised during times of happiness and distress, success and failure, and fame and infamy. And that the answers I was looking for from life would have to come from within and not from outside. After spending 2 full years in Bulgaria, we decided to move back to the US. But my parents, we didn't want to go back to LA because of so many bad memories. So my parents moved to New Jersey. Now, okay, I'm glad somebody got a laugh out of that one. They live in Jersey City, and I'm very much in touch with them, even at the moment. Figuring out what I'm going to do, what my next steps are, I end up getting a job as a loan officer in a mortgage company. I have no experiences with loans, no experience with mortgages, on-the-job training. Very soon, I find myself writing loans for people with extremely high credit card debt, or even bad credit card debt. And these loans were going to be against their houses. These were equity loans. I knew a lot of these loans weren't going to help these people. They might even hurt them in the future. This kind of work was really eating away at my conscience. I just knew I couldn't do this for the rest of my life. I needed some kind of work in which I was helping people, had some meaning for me. So it was around September of 1999 that I decided to take some time for myself. I talked to my parents, got their permission, and decided to go to Mumbai, India. And I moved into a Hindu monastery. Now, for somebody who's never had to live with anybody because I was an only child or share anything, I all of a sudden found myself living with 40 other monks. Sleeping in a sleeping bag on the floor with 15 other bodies next to mine. Waking up at 4 in the morning because the morning services started at 5. And then having to wait in line to use the bathroom. I always had my own bathroom. Doing simple services like cleaning the floor or helping to cook in the kitchen brought a great amount of joy to my heart, a kind of joy I'd never experienced before, even when I had everything that I ever wanted. What made it really special was the amazing amount of camaraderie and community that the monks shared with one another. They did everything together. We woke up together, we prayed together, we ate together, we had meaningful exchange of dialogue together, we had time for personal introspection. All of these activities allowed all the monks to feel emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually very, very satisfied. And although education and learning was of a great emphasis for members of the monastery, an even greater emphasis was placed on the development of personal character. It was understood that knowledge combined with proper character would enable the monks to become agents of change in the lives of people. But knowledge without proper character could lead to a prideful attitude and wouldn't really help anybody. The Bhagavad Gita explains that if one hopes to have an impact on other people's lives, then one needs to develop humility within their own character. And humility isn't something that can be developed by signing up for a 2-semester or 3-semester course. It needs lifelong enrollment. And it's a course that's an absolute must for anyone in a position of influence. Parents, educators, policymakers, government workers, for everyone actually. Gradually, I moved back to New York to continue my monastic training and education. And in 2001, I had a friend who was doing his doctoral work at Columbia University. He invited me to help him with some spiritual programming for the campus. He formed the Bhakti Club. Bhakti means devotion. And together we decided we would start club activities by doing vegetarian cooking classes. So the first vegetarian cooking class, we only had 5 students. I taught them how to cook some Indian food, and we all sat and ate together. But very quickly, the numbers grew and the word spread. Within 5 years or so, we were getting about 50 students every week for a vegetarian cooking class, teaching students how to cook food in good consciousness. Now we get anywhere between 60 or 70 to 120 students every single week, and we feed everybody. Our program also expanded where we added a weekly discussion on the Bhagavad Gita, the text that had influenced me very deeply. And a few years ago, we added a weekly meditation session where students, staff, and faculty can come together, learn about their mind, learn to de-stress, and learn to relax, and learn to let go of all the things that they're holding in their minds and hearts. I never expected to be so personally involved in the lives of so many students. But the way they would come up to me and express their gratitude for the programming we were offering, I began to realize that even though they had access to some of the best facilities and best educators in the country, that they were hankering for something more, that they had certain needs that just weren't being addressed. What were they looking for? They were looking for the same thing everyone's looking for. They were looking for the same thing that the monks in Mumbai had, camaraderie and community. They were looking for a place where they could go and talk about the things that were really on their minds. And this is exactly what the Bhakti Club hoped to achieve, to create an environment where people of like-mindedness can come together and develop friendship and talk about the things that are important to them. I'd like to take a moment to read a couple of statements from 2 students who graduated from Columbia and who were very active with the Bhakti Club. The first student actually graduated from TEACHERSCollege last year with a master's degree in organizational psychology. Here's what he had to say. In a city where there is difficulty in finding some peace among the noise, a graduate program that keeps me up into the wee hours of the morning, and a life where stress is inevitable, I found the Bhakti Club. It has become an oasis in a desert, an oasis that doesn't disappear but opens the doors with open arms. The Bhakti Club has certainly given me an opportunity to explore my spiritual self and become closer to understanding my true self. Aside from enjoying the weekly events, dinner, and networking, it has truly allowed me to stop and smell the roses. It has given me more than I can ever return. Another student who graduated with a degree in environmental science last year. It says, Bhakti Club is one of my favorite parts of Colombia. Aside from the delicious food, I always have great conversations and make new friends at events. The monks have so immensely contributed to my education in ways that are not available in any classroom setting. Through informal meditation groups and discussions, I am beginning to see how it is possible to control the mind and live life to its fullest potential. So these are just two of the thousands of students who have gone through the Bhakti Club. And it has become my full conviction that if we really want to have a holistic approach to education, that we need to be very mindful of not only the intellectual needs of the students, but also the emotional and spiritual needs. I'd like to take now a couple of moments to allow all of you to experience something similar to what the students who come to the Bhakti Club experience. I'd like to engage everybody in a very short 2 to 3 minute meditation session. Now, if you've never meditated before, don't panic, don't get scared. I'm not going to ask you to do anything strange. You're not going to shave your heads or anything like that. We're just going to try to relax you a little. This may be more useful for the organizers that are here. So if we can, maybe just take a moment to relax. Put your feet flat on the floor. Put your hands just on your legs. You close your eyes. And just take a deep breath in. As you breathe in, feel the air going in through your nose and filling your lungs. And just try to focus on that. Now slowly exhale. Watching the breath leave your nose, exhaling completely. Take another slow and deep breath in, watching the air enter your nose and filling your lungs. And exhale slowly, letting out all of your thoughts, all of your anxieties, all of your plans, and all of your worries. Now bring your awareness to the top of your head. Slowly bring your awareness down to your forehead. Center your awareness in between your eyebrows. Take a moment to look inward and try to observe your mind. Now bring your awareness down to your heart. See if you can feel the beating of your heart. See if you can notice the rhythm of your heartbeat. Now bring your awareness down to your feet. Feel the weight of your feet against the floor. Now slowly take a deep breath in and raising your awareness all the way back up to the top of your head. Then exhale slowly. You can slowly open your eyes. Take another deep breath in. Relax. Feel free to use this technique throughout the day and throughout your life, as and when needed. Thank you very much.